What's poppin', ladies and gentlemen, Darhkseid here, and I'm back with another video. I want to make this video real quick to give my post-fight thoughts on the Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios fight that just ended a few minutes ago. Just run down my thoughts on what I thought about the fight, what I think could be next for both guys. Just off the bat, man, Keith Thurman in the opening round, he looked a little stiff to me in those first few rounds. Great performance overall by Keith, but in the first opening round, he looked a little stiff in my opinion. You can definitely tell he started to loosen up probably around the fourth. I'd probably say around the fourth round, he started to loosen up a good amount. Barrios did what I thought he couldn't do if he was going to win the fight. He didn't really follow a great game plan in my opinion. You know, he's trading with Keith a little too much. I thought he needed to work from the outside a little bit more. Didn't work from the outside enough in my opinion. Definitely didn't go to the body enough in my opinion for him to be successful. Two things I thought were huge if he was going to win this fight. Me personally, I had predicted Keith Thurman stoppage around the 6th round, which obviously did not occur. But I mean, he pretty much beat Barrios from pillar to post the entire fight. He was hurt once to the body, of course, because we know Keith Thurman's body is indeed soft and it still remains soft after all this time. If I was Barrios, I would have, after that effect where, you know, he had basically Keith Thurman taking his mouthpiece out to get some air, I would attack the body a lot more after that, but for some odd reason, he just didn't attack the body enough in my opinion. That was like his main pathway to victory, is to have a steady body attack. But of course, he did not implement that, so he basically got beat pillar to post by Keith Thurman, who just battered him all night long. I mean, Barrios' nose just looks terrible after the fight. I mean, he took an absolute beating, but he did survive all 12. Of course, it was a just straight blowout victory for Keith Thurman there on the cards. But in all fairness, I think we did see a pretty vintage Keith Thurman once he woke up. I mean, he looked strong, he looked fast, he looked elusive. It looked like vintage Keith Thurman, vintage one time to me. I think if I'm Keith Thurman, one person I do not want to see next is Errol Spence Jr. I do not think Keith Thurman wants that fight. If we're talking about being soft to the body, the one person you do not want to see is Errol Spence Jr. because he will attack that body. And after, I don't think Keith was the same after he got hurt with the body shot. He didn't look like he had the same aggressiveness after that. I don't think he ever recovered fully and got that second win really. And I think it's pretty much due to that body shot because he really took a lot out of him in the moment, it seemed like. So I'm not sure if he could survive a body attack from someone like Errol Spence Jr. So that would be a good fight though, still in my opinion, but I don't think he wants that type of problems. Looking at the welterweight ratings at the moment, I think Keith definitely wants the top guys. So you're looking at people like Bud, EJ, Errol Spence Jr. People, he might even get Ugas. I mean, I think for Keith, Ugas would be the fight he would want if he can get it. I know Ugas is slated to fight Errol Spence Jr. So that fight still comes to fruition. Then obviously that won't be available for him. But if I'm Keith, I'd be looking for Ugas. That's probably who I'd go for if I had number one choice. Looking at who else he has there, I mean, you got your Boots and Virgil Ortiz's of the world. Bud would be another good fight. I'm not sure he could survive against Bud either, but Bud doesn't attack the body as much as Errol does. And also, he's a little bit less defensively responsible than Errol. So that might be a better fight for Keith as well. But yeah, he wants to fight the top guys, so he's not going there with any bums. But I mean, Boots, Virgil, I don't think he fights Boots, but Virgil Ortiz. I think Ugas would be the perfect fight for him if Errol Spence can't make that fight. I think Ugas would be the perfect fight for him. But he obviously wants somebody in the top echelon, which is obviously warranted because he looked very good tonight. I'd like to see him versus Bud. Probably, if I can't get him versus Ugas, versus Bud would probably be the next best option there. And as far as Mario Barrios goes, he showed he can survive up at the top, but I think he's more of a B-level fighter. B- maybe even. Probably B though. He's solid. He's not great. He'd probably be looking for somebody around Michael Fox, maybe. I mean, I think people like Conor Benn will probably eat him alive. Maybe like a Conor Benn type. Somebody around there who needs to step up in competition, but not quite to the very elite top. So we'll be looking to see what's next for Barrios. He basically got dominated pillar to post tonight. So not really sure where he goes from here. But man, just not in totality, Mr. One Time has returned. He looked in vintage form tonight. Great performance overall. Couple things that he probably could have done better. I mean, not really besides the stoppage, honestly. He basically did everything he wanted to in this fight. The stoppage is the only thing that he really didn't get in this fight, but besides that, I mean, he basically controlled the entire fight. Got hurt to the body just the once time there, maybe twice at most, but he has a soft body, so nothing he could do about that. But with that being said, if you guys enjoyed the full breakdown, make sure you guys leave a like, comment down below what you guys thought about the fight, and also hit that subscribe button for me, please and thank you. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy.